Hi everybody, that time of day again, milking time. Daisy's happily munching her breakfast here whilst I milk her. This milking stanchion that Sean built really helps. I mean, when we first had the girls, they weren't trained to milk, so they'd be hopping around. Milking stanchion where their heads are locked in basically helps a lot. I mean, I don't think we'd need it now because she's so good to be milked, but it's just a habit for her, routine for her, where she just hops up. There's a nice little ramp for her to get up, pops her head in, eats her breakfast, and she gives us some lovely milk. Last night I realised I was running out of room in my egg holder in the kitchen, and it occurred to me that even though we're getting a lot of eggs at the minute, winter is fast approaching and the girls are going to stop laying as frequently and possibly stop laying altogether. And I really don't want to be buying eggs from the shop when I know how many I've got here. So rather than just feed them to the dogs, I've decided that I'm going to preserve them in a pretty old-fashioned way, and this method should preserve them for up to 5 months, and it's storing them in lime. So the recipe calls for hydrated or slaked lime, to be dissolved in water, and then the eggs placed into that water and stored that way. They also recommend, or the sources that I've read have recommended, that you change the water periodically. So that's what we'll be doing. Yeah, I've found myself a nice glass kilner jar. I'll show you that when we get up to the kitchen, which is really pretty. And it's 4 litres, so it should hold quite a few eggs. We'll count them in. Some of my eggs, because I'm doing an experimental cross with the Bress and the Sussex as meat birds. So some eggs will be going into the incubator shortly, and we'll just have one hatch then over the winter or over the autumn to provide us with some meat birds. But the rest I'd like to preserve. So we'll see how that goes. There you go. Food and water undercover. Not that they need it today, mine is beautiful, but for the winter, that's ideal. So this is what I'm going to be using to preserve the eggs in the lime water. It's ultra lime. I'll try and find a link to it and post it. Hi everybody, we're back up at the kitchen now. And it's occurred to me that I haven't actually shown you how I filter the goat's milk ready for us to use. Generally we just use it as drinking milk on cereal and tea. Occasionally I use it for cheese, but ultimately it all gets filtered in the beginning the same way, and I'll go through that process with you now. Okay, so we've got our milk that Daisy so kindly gave us. What I then use is this is a 2 litre milk carton, which if we happen to need to buy cow's milk, or if I have friends who I know drink cow's milk, I ask them to save me these bottles, and we store our milk in there. It freezes nicely in these two if you need to. Then I have my stainless steel funnel, which just pops in there. And then inside there I have a milk filter. These milk filters I bought from Goat Nutrition. I will put a link to those in the comments section below. So just place the filter in there nicely. And then carefully lift up your container. You don't have to use a plastic milk carton, you can use whatever receptacle you want to, but I just find that they work for us the best. And then just gently pour in the milk. You may need to reposition your milk filter if you haven't got a wide based funnel, as the filter paper can bunch up in the narrower part of the funnel, causing blockage. So if you just pull it to the side, it'll start flowing again. Let's see if I can show you that. See, it seems a bit slow right now, so if I just pull that like that, it'll start going through quickly. Daisy generally gives us between 2 and 2.2 litres per milking, so that's another reason why I find these milk bottles handy. You could use glass jars, you can use stainless steel. I do have a stainless steel jug which I use sometimes if I have if she produces more than 2 litres. Last bit. Just be careful you don't try and fill the funnel up past that milk filter, because then you're defeating the object of the milk filter. So, as you can see, it's caught a little bit of grass or hay in there. Top on, straight in the fridge. And then wash up the... Okay, so our main project for today is to try and preserve some of these eggs that we've got. So many, I don't know what to do with. Girls are going to stop laying for the winter, and I really don't want to be buying eggs, so let's preserve them for as long as we can in lime water. Now, it's a very old method of preserving. It doesn't require electricity, so you know, if you're living off-grid, or if you're in, like our friends in America, if you're in a hurricane-prone area and you get power outages and you don't want to be taking up valuable fridge space, then, or freezer space even, then you can preserve your eggs in lime. So lime isn't like a citrus fruit. In this case, it's hydrated or slaked lime, which is like a fine powder, white powder. I'll show you some just here. I've taken some out of the main sack in the shed. Just be aware it's caustic, so just be aware of that when you're handling it. So the recipe that I found online calls for, they're mostly American recipes, so I've had to convert to metric. So I worked it out as 4 litres of water. My jar is 4 litres. My new kiln jar, 4 litres. And I'll need about 450 grams of lime. So we'll get on and do that. Ironically, we've just had a power cut. So all the more reason to be preserving our food without the need to rely on electricity, or mains electricity anyway. Okay, so we need 450 grams of lime. I just realised that my saucepan is only going to hold around 2 litres, so we've got 225 grams of lime in the saucepan for this first batch, and we'll do a second batch once this one is dissolved. I'm going to use boiling water for dissolving the lime, as I think it'll just dissolve it all a little bit quicker. Okay, so I'm going to use boiling water for dissolving the lime, as I think it'll just dissolve it all a little bit quicker. 1 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 Okay, I think you just need to keep on stirring this until everything's nice and dissolved and you can't feel a lot of sediment at the bottom. So I'm just going to set that to the side for a minute. So, to the jar. Everything I've read has asked for the eggs to be stored tip down, pointy end down in the jars. I didn't think it was going to be possible, but I managed it. So I'm not going to be storing any dirty eggs, or neither should you store eggs which are cracked. I'm going to try and just stack these in here as best I can. I'm going to count them. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so I've got 32 eggs in there. I've not put these ones in because they are a little bit dirty, so we're just going to use those. Okay, as I mentioned before, if you are using warm water or boiling water to dissolve your lime, then we need to make sure that that's cooled before you tip it onto your eggs. Otherwise you'll get sort of partially boiled eggs stored for 5 months, and I'm really not sure what that would turn out like. So let's just leave that cool. So now that the lime has cooled down, I'm going to start spooning it into the jar. Of course, when I first started this video, I was spouting measurements for 4 litres. Well, in reality, this jar isn't going to hold 4 litres of liquid anymore because it's going to be packed with eggs. So we'll see how much it takes now. But my aim is to just get these eggs covered, because I'm going to be adding eggs to this jar over the coming few days. Those eggs are well and truly covered. Put the lid on. And there we have it, our eggs preserved in lime water. And what better way to enjoy an egg than to have it poached on some homemade bread and a cup of tea with our lovely Daisy milk. Perfect. Well, thanks for coming along with me on that one. I'll let you know how it does. We'll be refreshing the water every couple of weeks, just to try and keep it nice and fresh. So the idea is that the lime particles settle in the pores of the eggs and then don't allow the bacteria in. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna go and enjoy my egg now. Bye. I hope you enjoyed today's video and you found it useful in some way. I'll let you know how the eggs progress and the first time that we crack a preserved egg and what it tastes like. Thanks for watching. Bye.